realized that I needed to not trust these women. You feel me? And I don't mean to be cynical, but I just mean as a man, I learned that women are way more scandalous and a little bit way more trifling than we give them credit for being because we think they're not gonna do that. So let's take it back to way back when. This was before the vid, bro. Talking like 20, this is 2018. So I lived in Washington at the time, right? And I had met this little shawty on a dating app. Red flag number one, you feel me? Anyway, we was kicking it. She introduced me to her fam and all that. We had been seeing each other for a couple months, right? Her birthday was probably like 2-3 months after I met her. And she invited me to her birthday party, right? And that's where I met her best friend. This big old light-skinned nigga. He's like, looked like he used to be athletic, but looked like he had been packing on the pounds, you feel me? It don't really matter. But it's big ass light skinned nigga with, it don't matter. You know how people be, it don't matter. I don't want to make people feel bad. They can't control his skin. Or maybe could go see a dermatologist or some shit, but that's neither here nor there. Oh, I meet this big ass nigga at the birthday party, and I'm like, all right, cool, word. Like, oh, so this your best friend, right? One day she had told me she was going to a nude beach with her best friend. I'm like, so y'all was at the nude beach? This big old nigga? You just walk around with this nigga dick in your face? Like, he just looking at your titties and shit? Like, all right, cool, whatever. Like I said, I met her on a dating app. And I'm still trying to figure out how to even categorize it, right? So that was a little egregious. It wasn't a complete, you feel me? It should have been. If I know then what I know now, it would have been, right? And so, fast forward, probably like 5 months. Me and Lil Shawty, it became kind of clear she wanted to be in a relationship. I wasn't really looking for a relationship. I was honest with her about it. I told her when I met her, it's gonna take at least 6 months before I know if I want to be in a relationship with you. So after, you feel me, a certain amount of period, we fell off from even seeing each other. And then she hit me up, wanting to see me, wanting to kick it, all this stuff, whatever. We ended up becoming friends with benefits, essentially. We didn't talk about it, but that's pretty much the category we was in, right? And so, and then he started coming over 2-3 nights out the week, spending the night. We'd wake up, make breakfast. She'd leave me there on her way. You feel me? She go to work. I'll be there before I go to work, right? Like, it was cool. But something wasn't right, right? And so one day, I come to the crib on a late night, and I'm kind of torn because there's a little shawty I want to be talking to, but it wasn't going right. And me and her was doing what we was doing. But I didn't feel right about being involved with both of them at the same time, right? And so once I get over there, the conversation got serious before it could get to anything else, right? And so I also seen her old best friend, buff nigga, outside. And she let me know that the two of them wasn't really friends like that no more. And I'm like, true? Why? Because she didn't really want to fuck this nigga like that no more. And I'm like, hold up, like, y'all be piping? Like, he be piping? I just ran into this nigga last week and dapped him up and said, what's up? And that's when she was like, he's a weirdo. And I'm like, what you mean? It's like, homie would text her and say, send me something so he could, you feel me, go goon to it, right? But this nigga wouldn't just say, send me something to goon to. He wanted to see her get her cakes torn up, bro. So this girl sitting here telling me that whatever recordings that me and her had, she was sending to her buff ass mixed nigga best friend. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? That's weird as fuck, first off, that this nigga wanna watch you get piped. Secondly, it's trifling that you sending this nigga my shit. And third off, I actually know this nigga and I just ran into him at the bar last week, like, and he dapped me up. So I'm like, one, he wasn't trying to speak. The nigga looked over, he was like, huh. And I walked over and dapped him up, he said, and I was just like, this kind of awkward. He was sitting there with people, I just let it rock. But now I'm sitting here like, bitch, you out here sending niggas my shit? What the fuck is wrong with you? And you out here introducing me to niggas that's out here clapping? Like, of course we was never gonna be in a relationship if this is the way you move, this is the way you behave. Like, what are you talking about? And so I didn't go off like that, you feel me? I wasn't just animated in her face like, what the fuck? I'm not gonna lie, by some point in the conversation, I probably did get that worked up. But I just started asking her, I'm like, all right, cool, if that's what you was doing, like, what have you been doing? You been seeing other people? She was like, I'm not dating nobody like with them. She had just got out of a relationship like 2 months, 3 months before we got back to kicking it on a regular, right? And so I don't remember what I said, but this girl just started, the floodgates just opened up. I guess she just was looking in my face and knew that I was serious, or maybe she felt like this was her last chance to possibly get a relationship out of me, so she better tell it all. I really don't know. All I know is this little girl sat there and she told me that she be hooking up with people. One, regularly. Two, I was like, all right, bet. So you've been seeing other people? She said, yes. And she was like, oh, this is one guy that I have come over before work sometimes. I'm like, bro, sometimes I'll leave before. All right, we're not even gonna do that. But I'm just like, all right, cool. So there's this dude that come over before work. When's the last time you seen him? Today. It's like 9 o'clock at night. She leave for work at like 9 o'clock in the morning. So I was just like, word? And then she told me that when she got off work, somebody else had came over. And so I'm like, that's two in one day? And then you call me? That's three. And I'm not gonna lie, dog, this next part, I hope it scares some of y'all. I was usually going in unprotected. And so I asked her, what's the case with these other niggas? They was not strapped up. So I'm saying, you let two niggas just come up in the club and bust all up. And then you invited me over to come mop it up last? And now you're sitting here telling me? But you're confused why I never wanted a relationship with you? Now look, I'm gonna be honest. Did I know that she was out here like this? Hell no, nigga. Hell no. I wouldn't have been in it. You feel me? Like I said, it was 2-3 months where, you feel me? I'm not the type to go through phones or ask hella questions, but we were seeing each other on a regular basis. You feel me? Now I'm gonna give her this. At the time when me and her did come back together, part of it is because she was grieving. She lost a grandfather, and that's when she hit me up, right? And so I didn't look at it then as if she was sad and in a vulnerable place and just trying to fill a void within her. Even then, there's better ways to do that shit. You feel me? And she also let me know that, unfortunately, she struggled with mental, you feel me, health and depression. And the only thing that made her feel good or feel better was intercourse, which to a certain extent, I wasn't even mad at it. You feel me? I had already known this about her as well. So it's like coming into this conversation, my biggest gripe was, you're not even protecting yourself and you're reckless enough to endanger me as well. Therefore, I cannot trust you and I do not respect it. Because if you had been making sure I was wrapping up every time I saw you, I would have had way less of a reaction. Would I have thought it was cool for her to be piping 3 niggas in one day? No, I still would have removed myself from the equation, as I ended up doing that night anyway. It's just, my conversation would have been way different, because I would have been like, oh, bet, that's why you always be telling me to wrap up, because you know you reckless as hell out here? It's like, no, bitch, you want to be my woman, but you out here with 3 niggas. So I'm supposed to just come in and pull you out of the dirt, and now you gonna be a good girl? Yeah, right. And this is why I tell all niggas to wait at least 6 months before they decide if they want to move further with a girl. You got to give yourself time to vet the situation, see how she moves, see how her mindset is, see who her friends are. Like I said, she introduced me to this big ass buff mixed nigga as her best friend, bro. That should have been red flag number 2. Number 1 is the fact that we both was on this dating app, bro. Now I'm not saying don't go on dating apps, not necessarily, but you got to double check the Carfax when you on dating apps, bro. And not saying you don't gotta just double check them in general, because the girl that I met at the same time around her, she had a whole nigga when I met her too. So really, it's just a dangerous game that you play when you dating out here, because a lot of people are liars and a lot of people don't tell you really what you're getting yourself into when you're getting involved with them. And so at the end of the day, I gotta thank baby girl from the top because I hadn't asked a lot of these questions. I was just going with the flow. As soon as I started asking questions about what her extracurricular activities consisted of when I wasn't around, I was quickly uninterested. And this is the kicker. She started crying as she sat there and told me that she had been sending intimate moments between me and her to another nigga to beat off to who personally knew me, and that she had been getting her doonies beat down just earlier that day, not by one, but by two other men, you feel me? And that she had been sleeping with, I don't remember if it was 3 or 5, bro, but it was more than just me, and it was more than just those two. Since me and her had even started seeing each other again. And that's when I learned, bruh, these women are not peaches and cream, nigga. Especially not when they want something in between, nigga. They are worse than men when they trying to get to it for real. You feel me? Especially if they've gotten rid of that shyness around men and gotten rid of their shame of their actions because they don't talk about what they do. I'm not going to say they're not ashamed. She started breaking down and crying in front of me when she really addressed what she had been doing, but they don't think about it and they don't talk about it. So nobody knows it didn't happen and it didn't exist until, you feel me? Eventually it does. And so I'm gonna leave this here. Again, I'm not gonna tell y'all not to trust hoes at all, but I am gonna tell y'all to do your RICO work, to do your recon, and just pay attention. And the same goes for women. It's just in my experience, dudes who is, you feel me, out here like this, you can tell a whole lot easier. And some of them will actually tell you, or you can just tell how they moving. You feel me? When I was around her, her phone was away, you feel me? Attention was here. She never talked about other niggas around me, like none of that. It was me and her. That's why I never even thought about it or asked no questions, because I never had reason to. As soon as I thought about, what you been up to? I got a little shawty on my line who want me to come slide, and I'm trying to, you feel me, figure out if we moving solid or not. So how you out here? I found out little shawty was out here drifting all across the motherfucking highway. Shit. But yeah, story time about when I finally learned to stop trusting these hoes.